Let's talk about the Chiefs' interesting logo history, Orlando Brown Jr.'s deal not getting done, Mitchell Schwartz announcing his retirement, and much freaking more. But first, how about those? What's up, guys? My name is Cole, aka the red-bearded wizard of all that is the Chiefs, or sometimes known as the ginger bald head bearded let's freaking go guy. And I do daily news about the Chiefs and the NFL overall, so definitely sub if you're new, because this channel's just getting started, and hit that like button to help me get a little more views and exposure from the algorithm so we can grow this little channel. And let's get into this video with some much needed player news in this very slow time of the offseason. Travis Kelce's on the street somewhere doing something with his arms crossed. Juan Thornhill would like us to know that we need to get used to these views from the top, and if he ends up staying with the Chiefs longer term, that's fine by me. He then shows off his nice new haircut, and Isaiah Pacheco does the same, showing us his. Then CEH can be seen going wild in his car to rap music with these sunglasses on that are almost as big as his entire face. Lonnie Johnson Jr. bought a house, I'm pretty sure at least, and Sky Moore could be seen running on a treadmill and catching some passes, running some routes. George Karlaftis reveals in this video series from the Chiefs that he wears a size 15 shoe, has eaten cow tongue, and if he had a superpower, he'd want to be able to pause time. Juju Smith-Schuster was in some challenge and had to catch a football with syrup on his gloves, and then the Kingdom crew shared this trivia post asking what the name of the stadium where the Chiefs play their home games is. And I definitely messaged them and said the only correct answer is B. So hey, they may not like that, but it is what it is, and the truth is the truth.
I've called you all here because I need some honest answers.
Is this thing real? Oh man, yeah, it is.
All right, so the Chiefs recently shared a 50-year anniversary logo of sorts in honor of, you guessed it, 50 years at Arrowhead Stadium. Who knows where they're going to put this logo? Maybe as a patch on a uniform, the 50-yard line, one of the end zones, or maybe the players will wear it like a badge of honor via the form of a face tattoo. That would be kind of cool. Okay, not really, but yes, the 50-year anniversary is fast approaching because the gates of Arrowhead first opened up on August 12th in 1972, in which the Chiefs smoked the St. Louis Cardinals like a cigar in a preseason game, beating them 24-14. All right, well, it was only a preseason game, but still, it was the first ever game played inside of this iconic stadium. And since we're on the theme of history, logos, patches, and the like, the Chiefs' unofficial, yet very official historian, Shaggy freaking Shane, provided me with this bit of knowledge and even helped me find some of these graphics for the next bit, so thanks so much for that, bro. But yes, 59 years ago, yesterday, the Chiefs' Arrowhead helmet logo was revealed in its glorious splendor for all to behold. That's right, on July 14th, 1963, they said, hey, look at our shiny new little logo via this photo that was published in the Kansas City Star. And this logo was a much more welcome sight in KC compared to the team's previous logo, which obviously had the state of Texas on it since they were formerly known as the Houston Texans. And while the new helmet logo looked nice, their alternate logo, the team logo, is maybe not so nice. I mean, just look at it. This is literally a naked white man dressed up like a Native American wielding a tomahawk and also wearing nice ruby red slippers like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. And yes, they actually used this thing on graphics, on the team's scoreboard, and I believe even as patches on players' uniforms. And I just know deep down in my soul that I don't have, that if Patrick Mahomes was wearing a patch like this on his jersey today, his status would definitely be downgraded from the elite QB of the NFL that he is now to someone a bit more mediocre, like maybe Baker Mayfield, poor guy. And maybe to some of you, this isn't even that crazy, but to someone like me who's only 31 and has grown up in today's culture that is a bit more thoughtful in their approach to stuff like this, this is freaking wild. And the wild part isn't even finished. In fact, it just keeps going. Look at this official Chiefs program from 1963. That was sold, by the way, for an entire 50 cents. The Chiefs mascot is literally talking in a native style accent about scalping the Buffalo Bills. But wait, because it gets better with this one, in which the Chief whips out his little football peace pipe so that he can smoke a quick Jets bowl. I mean, holy literal smokes. Could you imagine what would happen if these were used today? The team would get canceled, coaches fired, Players fined millions, and whoever actually made these flyers would immediately be flown to North Korea to serve a life sentence in one of their prisons. So yeah, it was probably a smart move on the Chiefs to get rid of almost all of this by like 1971, opting instead to play it safe and just kick it with the Arrowhead logo all around. Anyway, there you go, history. Some really crazy history at that.
You're crazy. You are crazy. You are both of you crazy.
And then we got to talk Orlando Brown Jr. news because his agent and the Chiefs were not able to work out a long-term deal before today's deadline. I dropped a video on that earlier when news initially broke, but said any other details that emerge, I will update you in this one. So here it is. It looks like supposedly, allegedly, the Chiefs were offering Orlando Brown a 6-year, $139 million deal with a $23.16 million per year average that included a $30.25 million signing bonus, a big one, and $95 million in the first 5 years. That last year or two, though, they're basically fake. So per Mike Garafolo, Brown basically would have had a deal that effectively paid $18.2 million per year, which ranked 8th among offensive tackles. Whether that's left tackles or tackles in general, I'm not 100% sure. But Orlando was looking for a deal at the top of the market, top of the mountain, minus the dummy year on the back end of the deal, and the Chiefs would not offer that. In fact, the Chiefs were only willing to fully guarantee money through next season, so fully guaranteed this year and next. But per Orlando's agent Michael Portner, they wanted more security than that. He said they got really close on a contract and enjoyed dealing with the Chiefs, but, quote, I'm not going to let these athletes sign a flashy contract without the substance or security there.
The issue here wasn't overall dollars. From what I am told, the Chiefs did offer more than Trent Williams, more than the $23 million per year on an average per year basis from new money. That's not what this was about. This was about security and structure.
So I guess Orlando's agent thinks having Orlando play on the franchise tag with zero guarantees after this year is better/safer than the contract the Chiefs are willing to offer and pay him. What a weird world we live in, folks. It looks like Orlando will soon be signing the franchise tag because Nate Taylor of The Athletic basically confirmed as much earlier today, saying this: the Chiefs offensive lineman Orlando Brown Jr. will play on the franchise tag this season after he and KC were unable to come to an agreement on an extension. A source confirmed to The Athletic. There you have it. So it looks like Orlando is willing to bet on himself and play on the tag this year in hopes of having a great season to earn a much larger payday than the Chiefs offered this year. Meanwhile, the Chiefs remain disciplined in their contract approach to maintain flexibility and ultimately not overpay a tackle who played maybe in the top 10 to 15 tackle range, yet still wanted to be paid like he was in the top 3. Veach and company were like, nah fam, that's not happening. Here's where we feel comfortable based on your experience, 1.5 years of experience at left tackle, and overall performance last season. You can accept this or play on the freaking tag. Well, it looks like Orlando opted to potentially just play on the tag. He hasn't signed yet, so I can't say that for sure without a doubt. But here we are. This is where we find ourselves sitting around, at least I am in my basement, waiting to see when Orlando will actually sign the franchise tag. So keep your eyes to the sky and on Ian Rappaport's Twitter timeline for when Orlando does. And something you also need to keep your eyes on is the calendar and your weather app, because the Chiefs training camp starts next Friday, July 22nd, for the rookies at least, and then for the veterans on Tuesday, July 26th. And the weather's going to be an absolute scorcher. So have fun with that, Chiefs players. Even Mahomes himself acknowledged this morning that it's going to be an absolute blast when he responded to a weather report from Mitchell Schwartz himself, the former All-Pro right tackle who also happened to officially announce his retirement yesterday. And I use the word officially here because it had been rumored / hinted at that after the back surgery he had in February of 2021, he may never be able to play in the NFL again. And that's not because you can't come back from a surgery like that, but more because everyone handles major surgeries like that very differently and recovers at their own level and rate. And he confirmed as much right out of the gate of his retirement announcement yesterday, saying this: I'm officially retiring from the NFL. It's been almost 2 years since I injured my back. I had surgery last February and have been doing rehab ever since. I'm currently feeling as good as I have since then, but it's clear my body won't ever be the same. The nerve pain down my legs is no longer a daily occurrence, but it might never fully go away. And to pause here for a second, the irony of what I'm reading right now from him is that I am also dealing with back pain and have nerve issues shooting down my legs as well. Very weird feeling, by the way. Anyway, Schwartz goes on to say, I've enjoyed so much about my time in the NFL and am walking away feeling very fulfilled. Winning the Super Bowl was the pinnacle of my career. My 7,894 consecutive snap streak and 4 All-Pro nominations are my proudest individual accomplishments, far exceeding my own expectations. Yeah, that is freaking crazy when you think about it. 7,894 consecutive snaps played in the NFL without missing a single one. He was drafted in the second round of the 2012 NFL Draft by the Cleveland the Cleveland Browns, where he played every offensive snap at right tackle all 4 years. And from there, he inked a 5-year, $33 million deal with the Chiefs in 2016. And believe it or not, that contract at the time made him one of the highest paid right tackles in the league. Oh, how quickly times have changed. Anyway, after starting all 4 seasons with the Browns, never missing a snap, he proceeded to do almost the exact same thing in Kansas City, playing in every snap of every game in 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019 almost. He ended up missing 3 snaps due to a knee injury in November of 2019 during the Chiefs' loss to the Titans, breaking that streak after 7,894 snaps in 8 seasons and 121 games. An absolutely phenomenal, incredible, all that stuff streak. From there, though, he didn't miss any snaps during the Chiefs' infamous postseason run and Super Bowl win, again, which he listed in his retirement announcement as the pinnacle of his career. Unfortunately, though, all good things must come to an end, even if that end comes pretty unexpectedly. The next season in 2020, he injured his back in some form during practice just prior to facing the Buffalo Bills in Week 6. In spite of that, though, this man said, screw it, and still played in that game, yet ended up having to come out of said game due to aggravating that back injury. And sadly, this is basically how it ended for Mitchell Schwartz. The next game, he missed his first ever NFL game, and shortly after that was placed on IR for the rest of the season, opting to have back surgery in February of 2021, then was released by the Chiefs the next month as a part of Brett Veach's efforts to completely overhaul the offensive line after that horrible loss to the Bucs in the Super Bowl. And that is the last you'd hear from Mitchell Schwartz, at least as far as him on a team in the NFL. The retirement announcement yesterday was basically a formality at this point, a period to his run-on sentence of a fantastic NFL career. And throughout the rest of his announcement yesterday, he of course thanked his wife, his family, former coaches, including O-line coach Andy Heck and head coach Andy Reid. He then credited Reid's reputation and Clark Hunt's well-ran organization for his decision to come to Kansas City in the first place, a city in which he's fallen in love with over the years, so much so that KC is where he and his family want to stay long-term. Found that pretty cool. He fittingly ends his retirement announcement saying this, "I am forever a Chief, and there's nowhere else I would rather be." Well, I'm sure I speak for nearly all of Chiefs Kingdom, Mr. Mitchell Schwartz, when I say there's no place we'd rather you be, and we are honored to have you here. So hats off to the legend, Mitchell Schwartz, for an incredible career, and I hope to see this large man on the street one day so I can shake his hand and say thanks for playing a large role in bringing KC back a ring. From here, I want to give a quick shout out to Kenrick Bourne, Eric Wahlberg, and Jared Medley for their recent $5 Super Thanks comments. Eric basically says the momentum can't be stopped. Kenrick simply says thanks. And Jared says, "You freaking rock, you beautiful, bearded, fatherless child." By far my favorite source of Chiefs news. I hope you do more live streams because I want to hang. How about those Chiefs? Well, thank you for all the freaking support, bro. More live streams are definitely coming. Have absolutely zero fear of that. Make sure to leave a bearded comment or a super thanks to potentially be featured in an upcoming vid. Sub for more news like this. And check out this video right here, which is from the Scrambling Armchair on why Otis Taylor should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. And until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go. How about those